Hello, everybody. Jamie here, the registered dietitian behind the scenes at the Mediterranean movement. And I just wanted to hop on and take 5 minutes out of your day to talk through and share with you some foods and beverages that you may or may not be aware of, that they are zapping the energy from your body, from your day. And if you're here and tuning into this video, reading through these emails, we know that your goal in 2021 is to get your energy back, right? Wow, it's been quite the year 2020, and we have been hearing from so many of you that your energy is just depleted. Your diet and physical activity, lifestyle have just changed and evolved. And so our goal for 2021 is to help support you to regain that energy. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to share with you a few foods and beverages that are zapping the energy from your day, and you'll have to tune in tomorrow to learn more about foods that we can add into our diet to help us boost our energy naturally. So the first thing that we do in the morning after we wake up, whether you're having a glass of water or coffee or tea, we're always starting off our day with breakfast, right? And breakfast is really that important meal that's fueling our bodies with energy for the rest of the day. So we want to make sure we're fueling our bodies right? So we have that long-standing energy. However, there are so many breakfast items that people are consuming quick and on the go as they're running off to work or taking their kids to school that are actually doing the opposite. And a few of those include breakfast cereals, cereal bars, yogurts even, and fruit smoothies. So these four items, in particular, what's zapping the energy from our day is the added sugars in these foods. So we really want to be aware of the sugar content of our cereals, the sugar content of those breakfast and energy bars, the sugar content of the yogurts we are having, right? This is more so speaking to flavored yogurts or yogurts with added Oreo crunches or Reese's Pieces in there, because those are out there, we know, as well as fruit smoothies that may be purchased at a store that have added fruit syrups in them, and also that don't contain any protein or fat in them to help sustain that energy throughout the rest of your day. So these four items, when we consume them and have a higher added sugar intake, this leads to a spike in our blood sugar, which really gives us that sugar high. So we may have that boost of energy bright and early in the morning, and then it's quickly followed by a sugar crash. So we really want to be aware of and limit the amount of added sugars we're having to start off our day, and really ultimately throughout the entire day, right? But especially in the morning, that will lead to that sugar crash in the middle of your day. Which leads me to the next, this is a beverage that we all are aware of, that really we are taking to stimulate our energy, and that's coffee. Yes, coffee indeed can mess with our energy levels. We become so dependent on coffee if it's something we have to start us off in the morning, or it's something that we fight the sugar crash in the late afternoon. This dependence that we build on coffee continues to build, and we become more dependent on it, leading us to need more caffeine to stimulate our energy. And this can really alter our sleep cycles, especially if we're consuming caffeine too late in the day, right? Then we're feeling wired in the evening, and it's difficult for us to settle into our sleep routine. So ultimately, while it gives us that quick boost of energy that we may be looking for, when we are looking at the whole picture and the whole day, ultimately, it does start to do the reverse and really does take energy away from us moving forward. So it's more so finding that balance of how much coffee or caffeine we can have in a day, which we'll talk about in our upcoming program. But ultimately, just being aware of how much coffee or caffeine you're consuming in a day, and knowing that while it is helping out with that quick fix, we really want to get to the root of the problem. Why are you having those energy depletions from the baseline, from the first place? And how can we fix that problem without a quick fix and a quick stimulant such as coffee? And then lastly, that leads me to the next food or beverage, really being alcohol. So alcohol is a depressant, and so it does make us really tired. Some people report that they enjoy having some alcohol with their dinner to help them get to sleep at night. But again, similar to coffee, alcohol also can play an impact on our sleep cycles. It also leads to dehydration, and when our body is dehydrated, we feel more fatigued, we have low energy. So ultimately, moderating how much alcohol we are consuming in a day and at each meal, and we'll definitely talk through those recommended amounts in our upcoming program as well. But just being aware that alcohol can play a factor on our sleep cycles and ultimately lead to some decreased energy moving forward, especially on the next day after we have a really poor and restless night of sleep. So again, just to recap, some of those foods that we may be thinking are really boosting our energy but are actually working the reverse are those breakfast cereals, breakfast bars, fruit smoothies, and yogurts with added sugars and low protein, low fat. Caffeine, while it's a stimulant, ultimately leads to crashes later on in the day. And alcohol can also mess with our sleep cycle. So being aware and conscious of these three foods and beverages in your day and taking notice to how they're affecting your energy. And then we hope you tune in tomorrow to the next video where we'll talk about natural ways to help boost our energy.